before the game, you giving dap. He squeezed my ass a little too.
Whoa.
What's up?
He doing what? He squeezing your what, OG? Nah, what y'all had going on back then? This James Worthy too. What you say, gang?
Squeezed my ass a little too. It wasn't like, what's up? It wasn't like, let's go. I was. So now you're thinking.
So he was on that.
You're like
that fruity.
You running down the court, thinking about this motherfucker. Why he getting every fucking offensive rebound? Because he knew how to, get physical and play. And fly.
What's all that?
He knew how to, get physical and play, and fly. I mean, he was.
YouTube, what's going on, man? It's your boy Groovy tapping in with y'all boys, man, and welcome back to the channel. Salute to my OGs, salute to my young bulls that's watching the vid today, man. I got another banger for y'all, man. In today's video, we are reacting to NBA legends and players explain why Dennis Rodman would be a problem in today's NBA. Now look, bro, if y'all ain't watched my Dennis Rodman documentary, man, y'all go watch that, man. Dennis Rodman was a beast, an animal on the boards, an animal on the defensive end. You know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing is, bro, off the court, my boy was partying, hanging with the females, doing whatever he was doing, you know what I'm saying? But when he got on the court, bro, he was still hooping, you know what I'm saying? He was that garbage guy, the cleanup guy, you know what I'm saying, man? The one who did the dirty work. You feel what I'm saying, man? A valuable piece to those 3 championships in Chicago, man. So Dennis Rodman was a dog, man. So, I want to hear some more Dennis Rodman stories, man. So before we hop into it, hit the like button, comment down below any vids y'all want me to react to next. And last but not least, subscribe, man. Y'all know what's going on. What am I doing?
He was not only one of the best defenders, but he was one of the most feared. I mean, he was like Superman.
He made rebounding.
Damn, they called him Superman?
Sexy.
Whoa! What you say, IT? Ain't no way OG said that. Pause. No
he
Diddy.
Made rebounding and defense sexy.
And he impacted the game a lot bigger.
All right.
There's Dennis again. He doesn't even have to score a basket to turn a game around with his rebounding ability.
Like, look at that, bro.
Dennis
look at the
Rodman,
effort.
aka The Worm, will be a game
The
changer.
Worm, that's his
NBA.
name?
His relentless energy, tenacity, and ability to dominate without
Why they
the
call this
ball in his
nigga The
hands
Worm?
will make him a unique force in the modern game. In an era where positionless
he do look like a
basketball is
worm.
key and players are expected to
Is it because he
contribute in
look like a
multiple
worm,
ways,
or he
Rodman's
could
versatility
like
on defense, guarding anyone from point guards to
God
centers
damn, he
will be
locking
a
Magic
perfect
up, though.
fit. His rebounding, which was already legendary, will stand out even
come
more
here.
in today's pace and
And he
space
had to
style
guard
of play,
MJ?
where securing extra possessions
I
is
like the
crucial.
physicality.
Imagine him grabbing boards over 7-footers, then sprinting down the court to disrupt the opposing team's offense, constantly making high energy and game-changing plays. But it's not just his on-court skills that will captivate fans.
Damn.
His personality, his flair, his unpredictability, and larger-than-life character will make him a social media superstar. In an age where every moment is instantly shared
That
and
nigga took
dissected
off his
online,
shirt?
Rodman's wild outfits, eccentric behavior, and outspoken attitude will draw attention.
He
both
must have
on
got
and off
ejected.
the court. He'll be the topic of conversation every night, whether it's for pulling down 20 rebounds in a game or his latest headline-grabbing stunt. Rodman's grit, toughness, and willingness to do the dirty work will set him apart in today's NBA, where many players prioritize flashy offensive stats. So here are a collection of NBA legends and players explaining why Dennis Rodman will be a problem in today's NBA. Enjoy the video, man.
Shaq, Kobe, and Dennis on the
That's
same
it.
team. Who's the biggest superstar?
You.
No, and I had the baddest woman I've ever seen in my life.
He was bad, man.
Damn.
Dennis was a machine. In Detroit, he was a machine, man. He could guard anybody on the floor. He had the psychological games. He'd get in your head, like, before the game, you giving dap. He squeezed my ass a little too.
Whoa.
wasn't like, what's up?
He doing what? He squeezing your what, OG? Nah, what y'all had going on back then? This James Worthy too. What you say, gang?
Squeezed my ass a little too. It wasn't like, what's up? It wasn't like, let's go. I was. So now you're thinking.
So he was on that.
You're like
That fruity.
You running down the court, thinking about this motherfucker. Why he getting every fucking offensive rebound?
Nah.
Because he knew how to, get physical and play,
Whoa! What's all that? What you mean? Nah, OG, what's going on?
He knew how to, get physical and play, and fly. But his foot speed matched mine. So all my little quick shit was, so you had to be ready.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I was ready. But yeah, Dennis was he was a beast, man.
So early on, Dennis Rodman,
that was an
with
interesting
no hand
story.
check and with hand check, had the agility to move with any point guard in the 90s.
I definitely think he could play 1 through 5
in
in today's game.
I'm talking Mark Price, John Stockton. He had the agility, meaning that if we want to do the hammer, y'all remember the hammer? Go. Slide, you go left, put him in the mix. Y'all remember that?
Oh, man.
He could slide left to right laterally with anybody. He was 6'9" and had the movement of a point guard.
Wow.
So defensively, he didn't give a fuck about a switch. And he long, and guess what at the end? He was physical at the end of whatever he did. So if it was a rebound, it was post up, he would go get the rebound. If he had to contest, he would contest. He played like a Draymond, but more in control. And he wasn't as dirty, I'm not gonna say, you know what I'm saying? But he had tactics where he wouldn't use his elbow, he'd use his body. He would run into you and take the rebound. He would outwork you.
I followed Dennis' career, and I think he was one of the guys that kind of helped motivate me coming from a small
That's a great
school and
description
knowing that I could make it to the NBA.
of his game.
He came out of Southeast Oklahoma, great rebounder, and I followed him and realized then that I had an opportunity to play at the next level just because of his hard work and his hunger and his journey that he had been through. This guy really fitted in with the bad boys is because he was a winner. He was a leader, and his basketball IQ is off the charts. And I had an opportunity to experience that playing alongside him. Everyone knows that, he was, a part of a great team, but they didn't realize how great a rebounder Dennis was when he was with the bad boys.
Right.
I didn't know either.
And, so a lot of his individual skills never really stood out, but when he was able to come and join us with the Chicago Bulls, we not only got the greatest rebounder of all time, but we got a basketball player that had a very high basketball IQ, and he knew how to win. It wasn't about just the leaders in Detroit, but they had a great piece here. A guy that was hungry and wanted to be known at the end of the day, as we know now.
Best game I've ever
W
seen
teammate.
Dennis Rodman played. I had one of the best seats in the house because it was against my beloved Indiana Pacers. March 4th, 1992. We're an upstart young Indiana Pacers team. They were still the bad boys of the Central Division of the Eastern Conference and champions and so forth. In Detroit, here we are trying to make a name for ourselves. And it was a pretty good game, but Dennis Rodman put on an absolute rebounding clinic.
Top of the key, no. Rebound.
How many boards he grabbed?
Great pass by Worm.
And he a good outlet passer. Okay.
How many times does he get his hands on the basketball?
Ooh, put back dunks.
High, 34 rebounds.
34
18
rebounds?
of them at the offensive end.
Damn.
We went down in overtime to the Pistons, but it was an unbelievable rebounding performance by
That
one
nigga
of the
grabbed
great
34
men,
rebounds?
Dennis
Phil, now his whole motive is to get Dennis back in shape. Everybody starts running in a line, and Phil blows a whistle. Whoever's at the back, run to the front. Now you can't stop. Whoever's in front controls the pace. So I tell everybody in that group, say, look, whoever gets in the front of that row, slow down to a fucking walk. We're just gonna jog and jog and jog and jog. Dennis takes off. Boom. Now he blows a whistle. Now we cannot stop until we get back in front of Dennis.
Okay.
It took us 4 laps to catch up to Dennis.
Worm was like, could he play? Not only could he play in this league, but he would have been in problem because you had to be physical. That's an engine.
Sound like he had hella energy,
That's an engine,
too,
bro. That's an engine. That's an engine. And niggas didn't want to play against him either. Dennis Rodman?
Worm, I think the Worm just doesn't get a lot of credit for how smart he was, how good his basketball IQ was. You know, he did all the dirty work, you know, dove on the ground.
Look at that.
You know, took charges.
Saving
got
possessions.
into people's heads.
Getting
you know,
possessions.
frustrated them.
Yeah.
But the Worm had a very, very good IQ. And a lot of people really didn't know that about him. They just thought he was just a crazy man running around with, you know, all kind of colors in his head. But it was a reason why he fit in with Chicago was because of his IQ. Dennis Rodman didn't care about scoring. You know, Dennis Rodman can go 0 points, but 15 rebounds. He take 2 charges, may get 4 or 5 assists. He impacted the game
everything.
where it's not really in the stat sheets other than the rebound.
And he's now your teammate.
Yeah.
And this is a unique cat.
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
That's an understatement right there, yeah.
How did oil and water mix?
Yeah. You know what? And I love Dennis. I really do. He's an unbelievable player, incredibly athletic. He was like Superman. Like, he just, you know, just a freak of nature. A guy could run all day long, never got tired, and was like the Energizer Bunny. I mean, I loved having him next to me on the court because you always felt like, you know, you just got a warrior with you.
Right.
So on the court, he's a great guy to have next to you. In the locker room, it's a little different story. But, you know.
The main thing I used to
He
learn
said in the locker room. What he was doing in the locker room?
No tendencies to the butt, that, you know, the basics of defense and how you do it. The guy could run all day. He could run all day, man, in the game. He never got tired. That's why you saw him diving in his stands all over the floor.
Come on. Rodman embarrassing him.
Like, come on, like, look at the effort.
He was in after the game. He used to ride the stationary bike.
You need a player like that on your
He
team.
played 43 minutes, dog. I think he ended up getting kicked out because he kicked the cameraman and shit. I go in the back, Joe. I'm tired as shit. Man, Lord on the motherfucking treadmill and combat boots up to his goddamn knees, running on a 15 incline at a 15, 17, like talking to me. Yeah, big fella got big fella tomorrow in Jersey. Got a, you know what I'm saying? He don't know what he's doing with. Damn, where what you doing? Just working out, you know what I'm saying? After games, he talking to me while he's running.
Nah.
Yo, this nigga's a fucking engine.
Yeah.
I looked at him like on some mystique.
Too much energy.
You cannot talk about the NBA from a historical perspective without talking about Dennis Rodman. Because in my opinion, that's how much of an impact that he made, which is rare for someone with his notoriety that don't have no interest in scoring the basketball. And that's normally where you get most of your glory from is offensively. But he took pride on the defensive end, and at 6'8", I think he led the league in rebounding 7 consecutive years.
Damn, that's impressive.
A defensive player also.
There's no place to throw it. A team inside, shot short. There's the horn.
You know, in college, I used to always go to the Pistons and work out with them and watch him. You know, this was before he turned into Dennis Rodman with the tats. But the thing that amazed me as a young player was watching a guy go through his practices, or sometimes after the game, and I go in the locker room with John, Sally, and Joe and Isaiah talk, and he'd be on a treadmill or he'd be on a Stairmaster, and they say he would do an hour after a game. You know, so for me to see a guy that just played a game and his ability to go get on the Stairmaster for another hour, and then also playing against him. I never had a guy that I didn't think I could go around at 6'8", standing straight up, and laterally he could still slide his feet and draw a charge. To me, that was unbelievable.
You know, he wasn't the most skilled guy, but when you talk about the greatest athletes to ever play in the NBA, I think Dennis Rodman is in that category. When you think about the stamina, what you talked about, Charles, just the way he lived his life, and to be able to play with that kind of energy night after night, the way he could run, especially early when he was with the Pistons, and he would chase people down and guard every position. That guy could have been a world-class triple jumper or a 400-meter sprinter. I mean, he was incredible.
And Shaq, this is a guy, too, who, I mean, you played with him a little bit in L.A., but playing against him, wasn't he? He's one of those irritating, get-under-your-skin kind of guys, right? Is he? Would it be fair to say, yeah, love having him on my team for what he does, but when you're playing against him,
he do it like he irritating as hell.
He was a great defender. He always moved his feet. The great thing about Dennis Rodman is he always did it his way. When I played with him, like, you know, you're supposed to be there an hour and a half before the game. He would come in with 45 on the clock, eating chicken and rice. And nobody would say anything because we knew that he was going to give us 20 to 25 rebounds at the game. And so, you know, he did it his way. He rode the treadmill after the game. And, you know, Steve was right. He was a phenomenal athlete. Phenomenal.
You know, Ernie, I saw that irritating problem. Because Michael used to joke to me all the time. What I would do is,
I just punch him as hard as I could at the beginning of the game. And he would leave you alone.
Yeah, you sure would.
He would. You just had, because Mike used to, Charles, why you keep doing that? I said, dude, he stopped, because he stops irritating you and bugging you once you clock him. I would just punch him as hard as I could, like in the first 5 minutes of the game.
He gave me my first job. Country Day, he used to go play video games. When I was in high school, he'd be up there playing video games with kids in the arcade. You remember this? And so he gave me my first job. I go up, he's like, you want to come up and camp? I'm like, yeah, thank you, Mr. Rodman, you know. I go up there, he pays me, he's working with all the kids, and then he plays with us for 3 hours after. Just plays with us. He wasn't shooting all that, running and doing all that, but he played with us, and he didn't have to. It was other Pistons, other people there, and, you know, seeing his work ethic.
Dennis Rodman, the way he rebounded the basketball and the way he played, he made rebounding and defense sexy. You know, and not only did he make it sexy,
what's up?
He also figured out how to get paid for just rebounding and playing defense. And again, in our era, you didn't get paid for rebounding. And I remember, you know, we in the layup line, and I was on him about, hey man, you know, you got to get loose. You got to, you know, get some layups. And he's like, no, I want to watch, you know, the rotation of the ball, how many times guys, you know, he was counting the rotation, like Joe's ball, like, you know, spins like 3 times in the air. You know, this guy spins like 2. And I had never heard anyone talk about rebounding in such a scientific way.
That's crazy.
Dennis took the responsibility of guarding the other team's top
That's
scorer
crazy.
all the time.
He's thinking about rebounding like that, on how many times the ball spins.
Rodman won't give an inch.
Yeah, good defense.
He is truly the only
fouled
person
him,
I've ever known that could guard all 5 positions. And I don't
He can
mean
guard
just
and Shaq.
guard him a little bit. Clamp down and shut down.
In addition to his 7 all-defensive first-team selections, Rodman also won 7 straight rebounding titles.
Damn, though, that's
averaging
impressive.
A staggering 16.7 boards over that span.
That's impressive.
Quite a feat for a player not much bigger than a shooting guard.
Most people think he's 6'9", 260. And Dennis was maybe a half an inch taller than me at 6'6", 220. And he impacted the game a lot bigger.
There's Dennis again. He doesn't even have to score a basket to turn a game around with his rebounding ability.
Wow,
you got to throw him in the category of some of the greats like Bill Russell.
Damn, they compare him to Bill Russell? Okay.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Whoa, Wilt Chamberlain?
Rebound number 34.
Because he used to dominate the game just on rebounds alone.
Okay. In the comments down below, are we comparing Dennis Rodman to a Wilt Chamberlain? A Bill Russell? Like, I know he's a Hall of Famer, but are we comparing him to those type of caliber type of guys? Y'all let me know in the comments. But I ain't gonna lie, Dennis Rodman definitely impacted the game with the rebound. He's a rebounding machine, and he knew how to play defense. Slide his feet, athletic as hell.
That's one of the greatest defensive players to ever play this game. That's a fierce competitor. Dennis wasn't much of a talker as much as he was like a pest. Would try to get in your head and do stuff to try to get you out of your game. That was his strong suit.
I came in 96, 97, 98, right during that championship run and played against them. And obviously we know how great the Bulls were and how dominant they were. And you understood why. Dennis Rodman's the best rebounder that I ever went against, the strongest guy I ever went against.
Damn,
the guy
strongest?
was virtually impossible for me to post up, just too strong. And I played against Dennis Rodman in the era where you can hand check. And that's the worst to be because that's where he's at his best. Because he's able to use his body and hand check and control.
Whenever we went on the floor and we were in deep championship playoff series, this guy would be in his own world about winning. You just saw it dripping off of him. You just saw on his face the passion he had for the game.
Defensive player of your press conference. You can tell it meant a lot to my boy, man.
I wanted this one so bad. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and tell me what was your favorite Dennis Rodman story. I know it's a lot. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. And until next time.
I want to see that. I want to see that press conference though. But anyways, that was a good video right there, man. Shout out Dennis Rodman. I learned a lot in this video, bro. I ain't gonna lie. What stood out to me the most is how he got into his opponent's heads, like all the psychological, you know what I'm saying, battles, you know what I'm saying, he used to have with his opponents to kind of throw him off their game, you know what I'm saying, man. So I did not know he was a pest like that on the court, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, bro, all the other extra stuff, I don't know about that, slapping other guys on the butt and all that, like, I don't know where that came from. Y'all let me know in the comments. But nah, man, Dennis Rodman, definitely an all-time great, man, Hall of Famer, a winner, relentless rebounder, you know what I'm saying, high IQ type of player, man, you know what I'm saying, man. So yeah, bro, great video right here, man. If y'all like the reaction, man, hit the like button, comment down below any videos y'all want me to react to next, and y'all know what's going on. Subscribe, man. Young Groovy signing out. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, man.